We have 8 games to pick in the NRL round 8, so it can only go better than from round 7. Let's get picking. But first, let's see the disaster that took place in round 7. So it was Thursday the 17th, Eagles versus Dragons, and I did Eagles by 8. But the Dragons came from nowhere and they got a 2-point win. It was a very, very, very tight finish in the end there, and it could have gone either way. Once again, though, the not the favourites, what am I thinking of? The non-favourites, the underdogs there actually pulled off the win. Well done if you picked Dragons, but I get absolutely nothing for that first game. Now, I did pick up some points because on Friday, Bulldogs continue their absolute rampage this season. They won by 32. I did them to win by 10, thinking, yeah, that's a good win. Rabbitohs completely fell apart and decided not to turn up and not get off the bus because they did not pick up a single point. Not a single point. Disgusting. 1 point for the win. Next was Dolphins versus Storm, and this was a shock. Another shock, because Dolphins managed to pick up a 20-point win against Storm, and that's their second loss this season. And Raiders are actually now ahead of them. Granted, they've played one more game, but fantastic result and performance by Dolphins. You cannot say anything else other than well done, because to beat them in that fashion, fantastic. Nothing for me there. Next was Warriors versus Broncos. I know Warriors is fairly strong at home. Broncos, they came from behind to lose it on that golden kick, which they missed in their first attempt and then gave Warriors a chance. So a 2-point win for Warriors. Broncos, yeah, they're in fourth, but it's still not convincing, is it? It's not convincing that they're going to challenge for the title. So nothing for me there, but things did look better because this is what we did a watch-along for. Roosters versus Panthers, and Panthers, yeah, fairly solid. They weren't incredible. They basically tore Roosters apart in the second half for sure. Roosters did try and come back, but Panthers they just consistently got the job done. They were in a low gear and they got the job done. They weren't anything spectacular, but sometimes you don't need to be. 12-40. I did a 4-point win for Panthers. Thought it might be close. They won by 28, so 1 point for the win. And then it was Titans versus Raiders. I went for a Titans win. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, to be fair, I say that. Titans were 2 wins out of 3 and Raiders were 4 out of 2. So, Titans at home, never mind. Nothing for me there. A decent performance by Raiders, who won by 10. Nothing for me in that game, though. But second to last game, Knights versus Sharks. I got the win. Sharks have started pulling their socks up. They won here by 20 points. I did them to win by 8. So, and again, no close scores. It's really frustrating. I'm just not getting those close scores. And the last game, I obviously lost because I went for West to win, but they actually lost by 16. Good performance by Eels. Doesn't lift them off the bottom of the table, though. But high-scoring, good performance by them. The league table so far now, then, with the golden hat staying top is Brotherman 18. It says stays top, but Midori's gone down. Don't understand. Anyway, golden hat, Brotherman 18. Well done, mate. Midori down 1. Kev is up through to third place, up 5. Hacksaw stays in 4th. Up the Doggies up 4. Mighty Muffins is still in 6th. Hell of a lot better than he is in the AFL. Benjamin down 4. St. Jai down 1. Up 3 is New Elijah and Rymester up 3. That's the top 10. Any big movers? Gus Storm up 17. And the Wooden Spoon. Ouch, your mama. Craig Euler is down 7 with the Wooden Spoon. Ouch. Third Nerd is up 12. Stormy May up 11. I think Stormy May was the only one that got one. Oh no, was going to get it and it didn't get it. Anyway, up 11, 1 on Stormy May. Down 7, Brupel. Down 10, Hazy. Vam H down 6. Where am I? Oh, I'm down 2. It's not great. It's not great. Things will improve, okay? I promise you. And very little movement down the bottom for the rest of the people. The first game of this week is on Thursday, the 24th, and it is at the Suncorp. Broncos versus Bulldogs. Now, both teams doing pretty well in terms of Broncos, and Bulldogs sensationally well. Definitely flying at the top of the table. I don't think this one is a ridiculously easy one to call. At the end of the day, you've got Broncos who favour the Suncorp. However, Bulldogs unbeaten and play pretty well away from home too. So it's certainly not an easy one to call. Broncos, they lose Reece Walsh, Cobbo, Marina on the wing. Bulldogs, they replace Jack Todd with Harry Hayes. So there is a little bit of movement, but I just think Bulldogs here, with the way they've been playing, they haven't even looked like they were going to lose. So looking at Bulldogs, I think their defensive grit and form outweighs Broncos. Weakened spine. So I think this one, I don't think it'll be ridiculously a big margin. So I'm going to go Bulldogs by 6. That's an interesting game and should be a really good one to watch. Friday, though, we go on to Anzac Day, Allianz Stadium. Roosters versus Dragons. Obviously, Dragons come off a good couple of results here. If you look at it, Roosters are competitive. However, they've not been getting the results, have they? Dragons up after a win. But still, I would say they're inconsistent. Definitely a home boost for the Roosters. So I'm going to be picking the Roosters. I think with the returnees that are coming home, the home advantage, and I think potentially that Dragons injury hit backline is a big problem for them coming into this game. I don't think it'll be a huge result margin again though. So let's go Roosters by 8. Let's see if they can get their 3rd win of the season. Next, Go Media Stadium, also on Anzac Day, over in New Zealand. Warriors get that home advantage against the Knights. I think Warriors, they regain Chance Nicole Klokstad, Tain Tupiki. Bloody hell, this is hard. Knights they lose Ponga, but Tyson Gamble is potentially back. Warriors need a rebound. They do. Knights on a 4-game losing spree. I think they found that rebound, but they need to real kind of push back on now, don't they? Being at home, I think that's going to be a huge lift. They're going to have that Anzac Day momentum with the fans as well. They're going to be behind them with that home advantage. And Ponga's absent from the Warriors. I think that, I don't know. Not sure. I think it favours the Warriors for sure there. So let's go with Warriors at home. Do a little bit more. Let's go a little bit more by 14. Yeah. Next, Amy Park, also on Anzac Day. Melbourne Storm versus Rabbitohs. A weird, shocking loss last week to Storm. And Rabbitohs obviously got destroyed last week as well. Once again, I can't see Storm losing 2 in a row. Storm, they're without Harry Grant, but Nick Meaney is back. Rabbitohs regain Cody Walker, Campbell Graham, Alex Johnson is out. I think Storm, they should win this. That loss by Rabbitohs last week, I know Storm also lost, but to not even get a point on the board, that is painful. With the fact that Storm are at the Amy Park, they should have the depth, home edge as well. They should crush Rabbitohs. Should. A 16-point win, I think. Yeah, 16-point win to Storm. They should get back on winning ways after that. Saturday, Queensland Country Bank Stadium. It is Cowboys versus Titans. Cowboys 3 wins in a row. That's pretty impressive for them. 50-50 now this league table so far. I think form, Cowboys have been competitive. Titans, they're struggling now. They're going down on that ladder, aren't they? At home advantage, massively going to help as well. I simply think, look, this is a game Titans could win, but looking at the form of the Cowboys, Titans, they do regain Tino. I'm not even going to attempt the last name. So but Cowboys also got Ruben Cotter back as well. I'm going to go with Cowboys. I almost want to go with Gold Coast, but I don't think I can. Cowboys win by 10. Yeah, Cowboys win by 10. Okay, Combank. Panthers versus Sea Eagles. Poor performance last week by Sea Eagles. Panthers, they weren't anything special, but they did get that second win of the season. Panthers, they certainly looked stronger last week. They showed what they are capable of. And even then, like I said, it wasn't a hugely impressive performance. So if they can win by being average, then that is a good sign against a Seagulls team who has lost the last 3, seems to now be a little bit down in the dumps as well. After that, I'm hoping for a real resurgence from my Panthers team. And I just think Manly, they're embattled after losses. I really do. And I don't think it's going to turn around. Look, we're at Combank. Panthers got to now raise. And this is simply a fact that Panthers, if they're going to still try and go for 5 in a row, they have to pick up win after win after win now, don't they? Just to show that they can get back into that top 8. Going to go with the Panthers win. I'm going to go by 12, I think. I don't think that's too much. Not ridiculous amounts. All right, 2 games left. Sunday, GIO Stadium in Canberra. Raiders versus Dolphins. A fantastic win last week. Fantastic win last week by the Dolphins, wasn't it? But both teams 3 out of 3 in the last 3 games. So both teams are on pretty decent form. Raiders are basically unchanged. Dolphins have got Ray Stone is out. I think Raiders are just pretty gritty at the moment, aren't they? They are pretty gritty, which is a good thing, I think, in league. You're just grinding out those results. Raiders get the edge from being at home. And I think they just got that defensive resolve that will see them through. So I'm going to go with a Raiders win, but not by a lot. I'm going to go a 4-point win to the Raiders. Hopefully that is a real tight, close game, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be. The last game, though, at Leichhardt Oval, Wests versus Sharks. Okay, pretty inconsistent both teams here, aren't they? They are both inconsistent. I think Sharks are certainly on the rise, pushing up the table now. Tigers stable with Jerome Luai. Sharks do lose Toby Rudolph, but how? Tupuha. Jesus, this is difficult. This is just the entertainment. Watch me trying to pronounce these names. He's back in. Tigers. Both teams have been pretty inconsistent, but I think Sharks are more on the up. I know Tigers are at home, but I think Sharks will travel well here. I think they've got more class, they've got more experience, and they should outdo Tigers in the last game of the week. So I'm going to go with a Sharks win by 8. So my picks for this week: Dogs by 6, Roosters by 8, Warriors by 14, Storm by 16, Cowboys by 10, Panthers by 12, Raiders by 4, and Sharks by 8. Let's hope it is a good week. I need to push up the table. I want at least top 20. It's been very, very difficult to call. Even with all the research I've been doing, it's been very, very difficult to get these right. And it just shows that it is anyone's game. It really, really is. But it's been fun. It's been exciting. And I hope you're enjoying it too. If you have enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.